Welcome back to another episode of the CPaaSAA Talks. And this time I'm delighted to be here with Viktorija Radman of Infobip and Henry Calvert of GSMA. And we're going to talk a little bit about the MWC that's coming up in just a matter of days almost. And what we're going to see there, network APIs, RCS, maybe a little bit of AI even. And I'm looking forward to hearing from these fine people what they're excited about, whether they still want to go to Barcelona after all the preparations in the first place. But first, a quick introduction, Viktorija. Let me start with you. Can you, in 30 seconds, explain a little bit what you do at Infobip and your journey to get this far?
Yeah, thank you, Rob, first of all, you and Capasa for having me here on this recording. So, Viktorija Radman, as you can see from Infobip, Telecom Business Director, globally from headquarters, taking care about few, let's say, partnership and products that we are having with mobile network operators, network APIs as a priority, RCS and some other solutions. But yeah, network APIs as my, let's say, focus from the headquarters.
Okay, great. Thanks. Henry, what about you? Network APIs, have you heard of that?
Yes, strangely enough, Rob, and thank you very much to CPaaSAA for this opportunity to have a quick chat, and especially with Infobip as well, who's been a significant partner and driver of network APIs over the last, it's not 3 years since Open Gateway's been going, it's literally all the way through for 10, 15 years. They really are a champion in the industry on that. So I'm Henry Calvert, I'm officially head of networks at the GSMA. And I look at the generational technology changes that we actually see coming across the mobile industry. I work on the mutual side of the business, but we attend most of the shows, Mobile World Congresses, to talk about content and also talk about the challenges that the industry actually has getting adoption. But I'm also the industry lead for Open Gateway, reporting to the GSMA board, trying to drive this initiative and trying to ensure that people understand that we need to work together as a big community. So all boats rise is my little motto on this one. So it's great to see CPaaSAA driving, the business sort of side on network APIs. And it's great to have channel partners and leaders like Infobip as well driving network APIs, which I think is going to be the new monetized era of what we need to do in mobile and fixed networks to create value in the industries.
Yeah, excellent. So thanks, Henry. Really great for us to be part of this whole ecosystem and working with GSMA. Now, Barcelona is coming up, right? And as you just said, well, APIs have been in the making for maybe 10 or 15 years, right? For some of us old enough. But certainly last couple of years, we've seen a lot of progression with Camara, Open Gateway. So looking ahead to Barcelona, what do you think we can expect to hear or see there? What's on the horizon for Barcelona? Can I start with you, Henry?
So this will be the biggest activity we've done since Mobile Connect, which was also the previous version and learnings that we got out of the industry. But this year's Congress is going to be bigger and better. Not only will we have a 5G or Connect 5G summit on the Monday morning, there are 15 other events that are actually going on, not only at the Grand Fira, but we've also partnered with Mobile World Capital, and they have created a talent arena at Fira Montjuïc, very close. And there we're very much focused on the enterprises and the developers. So we're inviting over 15,000 Spanish enterprises and particularly developers out of the Catalonian region to attend a free event that is going to actually understand in one of the tracks what Open Gateway is through a DevCon, what Open Gateway can do for them, and have clear demonstrations to them. So very much at a much lower level about the value that they can start creating. But also we'll have a hackathon. And there's a 15,000 euro prize, and there's probably around about 70, 80 hackathonies, would you call them, or athletes, coding away there at the Fira Montjuïc. and that's predominantly happening, Monday through to Wednesday, but predominantly on Tuesday is when the DevCon. But there's more. This year, Open Gateway is investing in our own pavilion right next to our GSMA pavilion. So we'll have the Open Gateway zone. That's also right outside Hall 4, which is the main keynote stage. So a lot of traffic there. And we've got, a great demonstration from Elmo, which is going to show driverless autonomous cars. We'll have a rig set up here. And back in Finland, we'll be driving a car around the track. If anyone wants to come and actually try it out, don't forget to bring your driving license, because you'll need a driving license to drive this rig. It is so real in what's actually going. But we also have 6 demo pods, and we've got over 16 demonstrations. And Viktorija is going to be there demonstrating with Infobip and the French operators. And she can say more about that. But also, Rob, I hope you'll be there with CPaaSAA, explaining what your association is doing and the value you're actually bringing to the industry. So a full packed agenda. Not only the Open Gateway will have the normal golden thread going through, where we have pretty much Open Gateway on a lot of the operator stands, of course on the vendor stands and the ecosystem and the channel partner stands, but also it will headline in the keynotes and the main stage activities that are going on. So, sorry, that's a packed agenda, isn't it?
Wow, it is. It's great to hear everything that's happening. It's going to be very interesting to see. Viktorija, you're part of the zone, but I know Infobip also have their own booth, and you're doing all sorts of demonstration talks. Can you talk a little bit about, let's say, what for you the highlights are at Barcelona, things you're demonstrating, or that you're looking forward, maybe some announcements that you cannot talk about here, of course, but...
Yeah, of course. Henry explained everything. The Barcelona is probably the biggest event of the year, where everyone wants to be present, like networking, visibility, something new, innovative. This is whoever is there wants to show something best that we did or plan to do in the next year. So yeah, Infobip is having our booth there for sure, as already for 4 years. For sure, one of the biggest topic for us there is network APIs, together with the RCS and conversation and AI. These are the topics where we have different demos on our booth, apart from one that Henry already mentioned with the all French operators in Open Gateway booth for demonstration. Then we have, there is a Mobile Identity Summit as well as part of the MWC that GSMA as well is leading. Infobip is a platinum sponsor, and we have a keynote and a case studies there that we will be able to showcase with the real customers and the numbers, which is the first time that we have the real numbers for the APIs that clients are consuming. So I think that will be very interesting as well. So and the Elmo car, I just want to mention that was the one that was already presented at the Shift conference from Infobip, and whoever wants to try to drive it, just go there and try it, because it's an amazing experience. So I'm very happy to be able to do it again in Barcelona. It's very funny. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll bring my driver's license for sure.
Take it with you, but they didn't ask me for at the first time. So yeah. Joking. They have all the securities there, of course, that we are not able to break something. So no worries on that. But anyhow, for sure, it's a big event. We have a lot of activities, as I already mentioned, network APIs, RCS, the hot topics, together with the AI that we can do in the background. The demonstration that Henry just mentioned with the French operators are really combination of network APIs and RCS for the banking sector, and the AI, let's say, algorithms in the background in order to better prevent the fraudsters' activities. So I think that could be as well very interesting, and to whoever will be there and taking care about security, fraudster section, of course, operators to be able to see how their APIs can suit that purpose, etc. So I think that we have a lot to show, and I think that it will be very interesting, and to see how our ideas, our, let's say, demonstration will be accepted, and of course to listen and learn from others that will be there and demonstrating their own success and innovative solutions. So looking forward to it for sure.
Great. One thing I want to really touch on quickly, because we'll be there as well at the Open Gateway Zone. We bring a number of our members, and one member that we announced yesterday is Aduna, which is the company formerly known as the JV, I would say here. So this is Ericsson together with 12 or 13, and I guess the number is growing, telcos combining forces on the network API supply side, basically bringing them to market in a structured way. Now, I know Infobip also signed an agreement with Aduna last week. It was announced, and Sinch did. So it seems that this is really getting traction. Henry, from your point of view, as the head of network and having been involved with this whole effort for a while, how important do you think this is, the fact that this company is now really taking that position and working with the rest of the ecosystem?
I think it is very important. Aduna, starts to bring together a number of large global operators. I think it's about 140 networks that they actually provide. But don't forget, other varieties of channel partners do exist out there. And we want an interoperable system, because there'll be places Aduna, cannot reach. But we certainly are glad to see the progression of what we have from Aduna, and we've just seen KDDI also just sign up as an investor into that company. There are some challenges in the marketplaces for operators, and to really simplify the access to APIs, aggregate them and simplify that. And I think that's the role that they're actually trying to take. And they're setting it up correctly, as far as I can actually see, to be able to be a very high volume access to a number of operators with consistent APIs that are Kamara based. And they are following the Open Gateway framework. Don't forget, the Open Gateway framework is not just the technical aspects, which we see from Kamara and TM Forum, but is also the commercial principles that we want to see on interoperability. And also we challenge some of the policies and have a conversation about privacy and consent guidelines and other regulatory matters that you might see in other countries. We want to ensure global interoperability from the GSMA Open Gateway point of view. But as I mentioned before, all boats rise, and it's really great to see Aduna and those key operators with Ericsson to actually simplify supply to channel partners that are going to create a value with enterprises at the end of the day.
Great. Thanks for that clarification, Henry. It's an exciting ecosystem. I want to switch back to something you said earlier, Viktorija. You mentioned the AI word and also RCS, right? So I think if you look at the ecosystem, or let's say the trends in customer engagement today, where we see contact centers and CPaaS all coming together around this theme called basically CX, right? Customer engagement, customer experience. I think in addition to network APIs, RCS, Rich Communication Service, is a big driver. It's another standard that's been in the making for, more than a decade. Let's not go into the early days, but it's really cool to see that it's taking off now. And then also AI is changing everything that we do, right? Both within the network and also on top of the network. I think that's really exciting. So maybe Viktorija, from Infobip point of view, how do you look at those two developments and how it all, let's say, supports this whole customer engagement mission?
So just to clarify, so Infobip is not doing any AI inside of the network. These are some other companies, as Nokia, etc., which are doing really great job there. Infobip is using AI inside of the conversational process and user experience that we are offering with different kind of channels. Of course, RCS is one of them and very important for the ecosystem. Having the really innovative CPaaS platform as Infobip is having, it's driving the whole, let's say, combination of network APIs and the rich communication channels. And this is really great for us to be able to showcase few of those use cases at MWC. Because imagine that with RCS channel, which is fully like very easy and rich in communication, and you can have the session and conversation with the person, then businesses can really limitate the real agent callings, etc. So you send the RCS message asking for names, surnames, some additional questions. In the background, you call the APIs for KYC towards the mobile network operators to see and to double check together with the AI then in the background, and to make decision to proceed or not to proceed with any actions that business wants to do with the consumer. In some cases, the one that we will show at the Barcelona, everything started from the application level of bank, where you want to do some money transaction. And then, of course, SIM swap is done in a background of application. But if there is a SIM swap happens, so red flag is there, then the RCS message is sent instead of calling the person, asking some questions, etc. RCS is sent to that number with the additional questions, security one of name, surname, and then some special security question from banks. In the background, you do all this check and everything is in RCS channel. You don't need to have some extra development in-house. And at the end, when you do everything, collect the information and data, do the algorithms for this decision of to proceed or not to proceed, you just inform the RCS, the consumer, that transaction will be proceed, or no, they need to come back to bank physically and confirm that they are doing that transaction or whatever. So it's very easy. You are doing everything in one channel. There is no need for additional development on the bank level, etc., etc. Everything can be done. Of course, you need to have the CPaaS platform before that to create that flow, that calculation algorithms in a background. But yeah, more and more this kind of combination of AI, rich communication channel, network APIs in the background will come, and this is what we want to do. We want to show the value to the market, not just reselling APIs. Simplification is already done on our platform. That is what Adjuna as well is now trying to do. They have a hell of the job to be done, to be honest. But we need to create additional value on top, not just really reselling the APIs.
Yeah, great.
This is our, let's say, because everyone in this ecosystem is having very important role if we want to put it on the market properly. But our for sure is to showcase the value and the use cases, combination, simplification, etc.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great explanation. I love how it's all coming together, and I agree. I mean, there's these two levels of AI, right? I think the other level of AI inside the network, I would love to do a separate session on that, because I've seen some interesting announcements and developments there recently, because the usage of AI is also changing the behavior or the requirements of the underlying networks, right, in a fundamental way that I think we're only starting to understand now, with AI data centers being built and AI clouds getting around and all of that stuff. I'd like to finish off, because I'm looking at the time here, the power of the ecosystem. It was mentioned a couple of times in this conversation. Of course, that's also where we come from, bringing the different parts of the ecosystems together, the telcos, the techcos, the advisors, etc., etc. I think this talk is a great testament to that, and you mentioned it both a couple of times. Henry, I'd like to give you the final opportunity to stress how important it is that we all work together in this space to make things work.
Yeah, you're spot on. And I go back to my quote around, all boats rise in the scenarios that we're doing, and not one sort of person is going to be able to, or one company going to be able to actually solve the complexities that are actually out there. I see this to be a vast change in monetization of connectivity, whether it be through RCS, whether it be through AI, whether it be through open gateway initiatives. The amount of productivity that connectivity has shown in the past, and the value that it's actually created just in GDP terms has been significant, almost 5% of total GDP around the world. And that's sort of projected to grow to around about 13% over the next decades in how that's gonna actually change our lives. Our lives have been changed already, but if you can imagine, as you say, we've just had a quick chat from Viktorija on AI, and you've mentioned, Rob, that is fundamentally, one of the things that is going to change the way we work and change the activities that we actually do, and also the availability of stuff that we actually have. If we don't come together and make it interoperable, then it will just become an island. And it's, we understand that the world is global. There are many needs for that in getting everything to pull together. So GSMA is one point in that can actually help and bring collaboration together. That's in the heart of what we're doing, and interoperability is in the heart of what we're doing. And we just would welcome everyone to come to Mobile World Congress Barcelona. Come with an open mindset. Come with a collaborative mindset, and just basically pick up, the richness that Infobip's providing, the richness you're going to, and the clarity you're going to bring through CPaaS, Rob. So come along, have a look, have a listen, and most of all, go home and do what we all need to do together.
Oh, excellent. Thanks a lot, Henry. I think that's a great conclusion of this session. I look forward to seeing you both in person in just a couple of days. And then we'll probably evaluate after the event and we look at all the amazing things that have been announced there. Thanks a lot, and talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.